Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's grammar tip. Today we're going to look at some strategies that we can use when we are giving the other side of an argument. For our opinion-based essays, it's essential that we give the other side of the argument, but it's also essential that we maintain our own stance throughout the essay so that there is a clear position right from the introduction through to the conclusion. And a lot of people get into difficulty when they're trying to write the description of the other side of the argument. They tend to step over the line and begin to sound as though they're actually arguing in favour of the other side. And so I'm going to show you a couple of ways that we can avoid that particular trap. So I'm looking at the writing task 2 question for this week on our theme of health. So if you don't want to hear the question until Friday when you have to submit the essay itself, probably a good idea to hit the pause button now and come back to this grammar exercise afterwards. But for everyone else, let's proceed. So the question for the task 2 essay this week: healthcare should not be provided for free regardless of a person's income. The health of a person is in their own hands, and they should therefore be held accountable for that. Do you agree with this opinion? Okay, so it's an agree-disagree format, so you need to give both sides of the argument in your response. Now, I would disagree with this particular statement. In fact, I think it's complete rubbish. However, you can't say, I think this is complete rubbish in an IELTS exam. You have to take a more constructive approach. So whether you're using our outline B or our outline C to construct your response, you're going to need to give the other side. And so that means you have to present the argument that says that no one should be entitled to free healthcare. And so the way that you would do that in order to make it clear that you don't actually hold this view is you would start by using a device such as: some consider that there is no entitlement to automatic entitlement to free healthcare for anyone, or something like that. And you might continue: there are many people who do not take care of their health, and so it is unfair to expect the government to bear the cost of treating people who are not giving due attention to maintaining their own health. It is therefore unjust to require or to provide access to free healthcare. So that's giving an argument for the other side. But do you see what I've done? I've said there are many people who don't look after their own health. It is therefore unjust that people should be entitled to free healthcare. I've crossed the line there. It now sounds as though I'm actually arguing in favour, because I've dropped away from using the device, some consider that, and I've started using the sort of language I would use for my own argument. Now, in order to avoid that, what I need to do is to use some devices to make sure that when I make these other points, that I'm doing so without crossing that line. And so the way that I would do that is I would start in the same fashion. Some consider that there should be no automatic entitlement to free healthcare. In their view, there are many people who fail to take sufficient care of their own health. And so it is therefore, on this view, unjust for governments to provide free healthcare or whatever. So it's important, as you're presenting the other view, that you not step over and start sounding as though you're arguing for that point yourself. Use devices throughout the argument for the other side to make it clear that this is not the view that you hold. So on this view, according to this view, there were people who supported this view would argue. Those type of devices are very important to make it clear that your stance has not changed and that you are simply presenting the other side in order to provide a complete response to the question. Okay, good luck with writing your essays for this week.